Hello, welcome. My name is Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay, and we are playing the RPG Demigods today. I am joined by some outstanding role players today, and one less so. But but we are here to pick up our story from last time. This is episode 5 of Demigods Media Storm, and you can catch up on previous episodes over at YouTube and look for Probably Okay Games. Just recently achieved 100 subscribers, which means I finally get to apply for my vanity YouTube link. So we'll see how that works out. But just over the last week or so, hit 100. So very excited about that. But no, well, Ray, you're absolutely correct. We have 4 outstanding role players here and me. So that's really what we've got.
Our outstanding storyteller.
There it is.
Just a different category.
Let's go around and introduce ourselves. We'll save the best Sam for last. So Joey/Lee, what do you have to say for yourself?
Rutabaga. Hi, I'm Joey. I am playing Lee Spencer Fitzgerald, the arcane son of Ares, the god of war. And I've been taking a little bit of damage. I think Jason's trying to kill me. I think he thinks if he kills me in the game, he kills me in real life. And yeah, that's it.
Sounds like
Ley
Jason
lines.
has been catching up on his anime.
Oh, I missed all that because I had to plug my headphones in, but I bet it was witty and delicious. So, oh my gosh, Delevely in the chat, thank you so much for that subscription.
You have to keep an eye on them. I hear they're a bit of a troll.
Yeah, indeed. Minerva.
Oh, hi guys. I am Minerva and I'm playing Rosalinda Cruz, the Elemental Playbook. I am the daughter of Influencer. I'm just absolutely fabulous. And yeah, cool. I had something witty to say and I completely forgot. Thanks, Jason.
I didn't do anything.
Exactly.
All right, Pooja.
Hi, I'm Pooja, and I'm playing Trayi, the warrior daughter of books, who may have been making lots of things slightly worse instead of better. Oops. It's not going to come back and haunt her all the time.
It's me. I'm things.
But also, yes, quite close to death. Again.
Yep, I can't imagine anything going wrong with that. The last person we have joining us today is taking the seat from Clara, who was not able to join us today. And they, in fact, battled for dominance, and Sam came out on top of that. So, Sam, congratulations on the win, and welcome for joining us today. Who are you, and how can you justify yourself?
I'm victorious enough that I need not. Mwaha, mwahahaha. Hi, I'm Sam Delev, role-playing performer and variety streamer throughout the Twitchernet. Today, I am playing the Seeker of Attention Seekers, the monster that media made, and looking forward to being back here at the table with some friends from Seeker's last appearance. Also super looking forward to playing with friends I haven't played with in literal years, and one new friend I've never played with at all, and I am meeting in my very favorite way, which is not actually being ourselves, being completely different people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best way to make friends with new real-life people is to play pretend together. So,
That's
We're
how we
in
did it as
kindergarten.
kids.
Yeah.
There's a better way. I don't know it because I don't use other ways. This is how I make friends.
yeah,
Because this is the best way, and once you find the best way, why go on to anything
yeah,
else?
you just stick with
It
it.
ain't broke, no.
Okay, so one of my favorite things to do is to go around and get the PC's impression of what happened last time, like the most important thing that stuck out in their minds. If you've completely blanked on last episode, that is completely fine. I will fill in the gaps. But for those who were here last time, we'll go backwards order. Pooja, what stood out to you about the last episode?
Well, of course, this book that I got that's supposed to help us fix the ley line was made by Merlin, because that guy was a jerk.
Yeah.
So no wonder it basically tried to kill us all. Twice.
Yep. How about? I should have said Trey. Rosalinda, what is your memory of the last adventure?
I made not the best, but it's serviceable Faraday-like cage out of all this copper that I found and it drew to me.
Found.
I found it.
Come to me.
Like if it came from the walls, if it disconnected your internet, that's fine.
I mean, whose fault is that really?
Yeah, I mean, you should be on fiber already.
Yeah.
Seriously. In 5G.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a problem. But I made the best cage ever,
true.
and I'm ready to throw down.
That's true. So separate from the mausoleum where a lot of prep was happening, Rosalinda went down to where the actual ley line that moved, which is not supposed to happen.
That would have been.
And has created a copper chicken wire cage around that. So, yeah. And Lee, what is your strong memory of last time?
Oh, people kept going into my holes. That's what I remember mainly. I created a new hole, which is fun. I finally learned how to make portals, which is cute.
Mm-hmm.
I also managed to get a singularity version of the book, so it stopped trying to murder us with its photon beam when we opened it, and took a bit of damage doing that in an effort to protect Trey's life, because she is important to the book and the book is important to me, and I guess Trey therefore is important to me.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Did you hit your head coming through the last hole?
I haven't had any complaints so far.
What for a little bit of okay, I'm fine. One of the things that was but perhaps subtext that we'll just jump into full text from last time, the thing that Lee discovered about trying to be able to work with the book was to show Trey the editrix of media in general, specifically of books, but of media's afterlife. Books is like the reaper of the media afterlife. So that's a very big, prestigious position to have in media. And for this book to cooperate with Lee, because it would need Lee's expertise as well, it needed to see Lee show a genuine deferential respect to the editrix of books. And Lee found it in himself to show, because it wouldn't work to fake it, right? The book would know if you were bullshitting. And I actually, like, when I presented that information to Joey, I was not 100% sure that Lee was able to do it. So
that makes two of us.
So
have we confirmed he's not a changeling?
Correct. Yeah.
Has he been replaced?
Not that we know
As someone
of.
who's capable of a genuine sentiment.
Yes.
I know. Like,
I don't keep an eye on him all the time.
when I went to the library, I'm wondering if like one of the Pod People books got out.
The
He's still
sacrifices
talking about
one
ley
makes for
lines.
knowledge.
Yep. So.
So you're saying one of the Dark Academia books got out?
However, the context that we should have in character-wise is that Trey, you went from, like having a little bit of like a spiky interaction with Lee, really. Like the last few hours have been fairly contentious. I wouldn't say like aggressively so, but it's been tense, right? We've had some analysis of this book, and we started this process in the mausoleum to silo various realities that were sort of collapsing in on each other. And in that time, Lee expressed a genuine respect for you and your position in your pantheon. And I don't think Trey would know exactly why that happened. So, because like the book is not
what to do with it.
You're right. Like the book is not a sapient being. It's a sentient thing, but it's not sapient, and it's not like telling Trey like, "Aha, I got him to respect you." Like that's just not how that happens. So, that for in-character perspective, I like to make sure that's clear. And also from Lee's point of view, he dug deep and discovered that he actually contained a genuine respect for Trey. So that is that's the idea. So that being the case, I want to check in with our Seeker, the monster that media made, and find out a little bit, just in top line descriptions. What has the Seeker been up to in the last several hours since they were released from overbearing service and have sort of entered into like voluntary service of like they do their job to the degree that they want to. What has that been like for Seeker?
All right, so a few hours.
Well, it's been a few hours for the characters. If it's been more time for Seeker, that's acceptable as well.
Yeah, it's always good to have a time pocket. Really capacious ones, the kind that are only sold in like one half of the store for some reason. But a good amount of time in that pocket was spent introspecting and reconceptualizing their job. You don't get to not be Seeker. They're Seeker. But after 100 days and 100 nights in the cargo pocket of time, they discovered that one can conceptualize their position a little more broadly. And there are some sea lioners who get into some Twitter replies. There are some whataboutists.
Okay.
There are so many people who are attention seeking, not as a toxic behavior intrinsically, but expressing it in harmful and toxic ways. And it turns out that with this new reprioritization, they're at the top of my list.
Excellent. So, as a little bit of background to that, Seeker, the essentially warrior deity of the media pantheon is called Rhetoric and is born from the original. There was a ancient Sumerian priestess who had introduced these ideas of, and then were just appropriated by Socrates and Plato, like these Greek philosophers who said that they made it up and they did not. But imagine, if you will, men taking credit for the work of women, which is just, why would somebody do that? But the deity calls herself Rhetoric and has started to follow your work a little bit because for her part, she generally isn't super worried about what argument you're making as long as you're not using false premises, straw man arguments, circular logic.
Rhetoric and sophistry have not gotten along for millennia.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
And I think what Seeker is going about is, it seems like to me, it sounds like you were describing essentially punishing those bad faith arguments. Does that sound accurate?
That is one of the early priorities, and specifically where it's in keeping with their job, where people are doing it because they feel like that will make them seem smart to someone.
Yeah.
If I derail this argument to make this point, it's because I'm smart. Like, see, everyone, look how smart I am. I totally dunked on them.
Mm-hmm.
And not only am I smart, but I am smarter than them.
Mm-hmm. The most important detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, all right. I just wanted to have that little bit of background. And Seeker, one of the things that I think has gotten Rhetoric's attention is the fact that there are media deities Okay, that's the first time I've said that correctly. Oh, no. Media demigods. Okay, there are media demigods in the Hollywood Cemetery trying to speak with the dead in a way that is like not always immediately available or offered, right? So they're seeking this like attention of the dead, and Rhetoric has simply come to you and it's not like officially your supervisor, but has suggested like maybe we could work together. And
Rhetoric Senpai noticed me?
yes. Would you mind investigating the cemetery, because we know the famous media demigods are affiliated with it, and something is disturbing the dead, and we would like to have a conversation with them. And
I would like to do what the cute warrior asks of me.
okay, excellent. So when you deploy yourself, you find there is a somewhat ghostified Stella, who you've met before, I think. Yeah. Stella and Lee. Stella and Lee were the ones you've met before, right?
Well,
These
I
are
mean,
the demigods we have at home.
yeah, they also technically met Rosalinda since they put them in the banhammer.
Well, but that's not exactly
It's not my preferred getting to know you.
right,
Sure.
right. All right. So, when you arrive, you find Stella has entered a kind of liminal state, a twilight state of being between the land of the living and the land of the dead, and has not completely moved to the land of the dead, but is sort of locked in continuous and repeated conversations, which is not immediately a problem, but that's your initial discovery. Like, you arrive, you see, okay, she's just phasing between realities. That's fine. Who doesn't? Sometimes, you have a rough week, and sometimes you just need to phase your reality a little bit.
It's just a phase. That's what they say.
Captions, how dare you? I did not say face your realities. That is not at all what I said.
Never that. Never
Not
that.
in my escapism.
How dare.
Captain's
How
coming in
dare
with a hot
insert
take.
Truth.
Sometimes you just need to steal your alternate reality's lipstick. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Theirs isn't broken or melted.
This is great. In my notes, I had written down Simon Simmons as our as a demigod in question that we need to review, because he raised a bunch of zombies at one point. And then unconnected, I had written down a phone number just that I needed to reference for something else. And for some reason, they're very close to each other, and I didn't connect that Simon Simmons was a character and this phone number is like for a real. I was like, why do I need to call Simon Simmons? Until this moment right now of like, oh, those are separate notes. So good job, brain. Okay. So, Seeker, when you arrive, you can also tell that the mausoleum, which is at the core of the, that the demigods who came together in this place, and for the first time ever, demigods are able to work together. Like, something special about the cemetery is connected to them and has connected them to each other. And that is focused on the mausoleum in the middle of my screen. Right below. And when you arrive, you can see, Clara has stepped out. I think she did step out of the mausoleum to speak to the dead, right? Like,
Yeah, she was amongst the tombstones.
So you can see her. She's sort of in a ghostly, liminal state, not trapped, not being forced to do so. Is just completely absorbed in what she's doing. But the mausoleum has become a bit of a island in the storm, right? Like it's eye of the storm. Like a number of competing realities have been pushed away for just one single reality centered on the mausoleum right now. You can see just a little ways down by the street, not far away, like 50 yards away. Rosalinda, who was previously in your banhammer, is putting together a coppery cage of some kind, quite big, right? Like over a whole street. And what do you want to do?
What you doing?
You gonna go talk to Rosalinda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm making this awesome street project, and it's gonna do this. It's made out of copper, which has this beautiful burnished bronze color. And do I recognize her?
Them, but
Sorry, thank you.
let's. I'm not actually sure about that, and the conflict of that is interesting to me. Let's roll metal.
Oh man. Okay.
I think your metal's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But, let's first start.
Well, there's no way you could roll poorly.
Okay. That's a 6 and a 4. Do I add my 2?
Yeah.
So that's a 12.
Okay, just a 12. Yeah.
Just a 12.
Yeah, Rosalinda, as you turn and sort of take in Seeker face to face and see the hammer on their hip, I think, right? Seeker, you like carry it with you?
I think they might be casually swinging it, just like like a fidget.
Sure.
But a deadly fidget.
Sure. In a world where sometimes you swing the hammer and sometimes the hammer swings you, Seeker has
swung both of those ways. Yes.
Yeah. You've taken control of the hammer, and it no longer controls you. So, I think that's probably Rosalinda. That might have been what was confusing about seeing them was. They look different, right? But you definitely recognize the hammer, and you recognize Seeker for who they are. Okay. So what's your reaction?
So Rosalinda is fiddling with the air, making stuff, just finishing touches just to get it done because deadlines. And Rosalinda stops, stares at them, and says, "I didn't do it. Whatever it is, I didn't do it. I didn't do it." Hi.
Oh, you were the one with the collab, huh?
Yeah. No, not me. Okay, me.
No,
Hi.
we're cool now.
Here?
I other fish. We're frying so many fish. Oh,
I like fish. Fish fries are good.
So we can be friends now. Hi,
okay.
I'm Seeker.
Hi! Sticks hand right out. Hi, Seeker.
Yep.
Rosalinda. Boom. What's up? What are you doing here?
Oh, I heard that there was some stuff going on and that someone might be seeking some attention of people whose attention's not often sought, and that's kind of my stick. And also someone asked me to go look, and I like her, and what so I'm here.
Oh really?
What
Rosalinda, I'm gonna ask you to roll Pierce the Veil, which means I'm gonna use up one of your questions, but a 6- won't be catastrophic.
All right, that's Pierce the Veil's -1 judgment. Awesome.
Are you making Rosalinda roll gay insight?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Roll gaydar, please.
The 4 + 2. So that the -1 to my judgment, that's a 6 -5. That's a 5 total.
Sweet. Okay, so the piece of information I'm going to give you is that Seeker is well, you already knew that Seeker's not a demigod, right? They're a creation of media. They're also not a full celebrant, right? They're not like in charge of an entire component of media. But Seeker is probably unknowingly bearing the blessing of a celebrant, but you're not sure which one. And that's I think is maybe more unsettling than anything. Is like you should be able to recognize whose blessing this is, but that's wild.
So I squint at them, just like, glowing. Like, do you have a filter on? You look really. It's.
I've been trying this new moisturizer, Tears of My Enemies. It's really been working out.
Do they have a site? I'd like to try it because you look good.
Oh, yeah, I get them here. I pull up twitter.com.
Take my phone out.
You just see like this comment has been deleted by user like over
Yeah.
and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, particularly the tears of upset middle-aged white men.
Like, oh, dude.
There's different strains of it, you see. So
Some
So
are
it's
more
a-
potent than others.
So it's a mod. Can I get in on that? Because that like some of the people on my feed are just like, ugh.
Oh, you
Yeah,
just got to
it's-
feed on them. That's why it's called one. I smile, and maybe there's just a little bit of
oh my
thing.
god.
I just ate though.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna cut to the mausoleum. Trey Lee, what is happening? You have successfully achieved the big spell you were trying to pull off. So what's next?
Well, now that we have a book anchored in one reality, I guess we can read it. Hopefully safely.
Yeah, I'm gonna give me a minute, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of step away from the book because last time I opened the book,
Mm-hmm.
woof. And I know my spell worked, but I'm a little shaky right now.
And actually, the spell working, I think, has left you dizzy as well because, you know, you're just like, oh, like you could finally take a full breath and the noise is off that you didn't know you were hearing. And, you know, you're just suddenly in a calm, quiet state of mind, which is maybe more disorienting than anything.
Very that. I would like to try to do a bend fate to try to heal some of this harm before we open the book and a paper cut takes me out.
Okay.
Oh my god, okay. That okay seemed mean.
Right? That okay seemed very pointed. Oh, thank God. These dice like me. That's an 11 on the dice plus 2 weird is a 13.
Okay. So you can pick heal one harm twice if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Are both of those for you?
What is your harm at, Trey?
4.
Okay.
That's a major threshold.
Yes, but if I take both harm, that also brings me down to 3.
Well,
you know,
Lee, you can feel what the book wants you to do.
I know what the book wants me to do, and that's a good point. And I want that book.
You want the book to respect you.
I want the knowledge the book has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do 1 and 1.
Okay. What does it look like? What is your like bending of fate? Is there a gift that you're channeling, or what does this look like that you're doing?
It's a form of spell. It's not a spell casting move, but it's a form of spell casting. It's I think he pulls out a salve that would be similar to like you would use on like wounds of a gladiator, you know, like that kind of thing, like that kind of ointment situation.
Sure.
But it's obviously enchanted and magic, so rubbing it kind of starts rubbing away the wound.
Mm-hmm. Like photoshopping the wound off of it.
Kind
I
of,
was like,
yeah.
oh, it's like a giant like reality eraser. Cool.
Yeah.
Basically.
I imagine that's what Rosalinda's rub some dirt on it looks like. It's like-
Totally.
Actual magic eraser.
yes. Yeah. Trey, has this experience for you that Lee is like, hold on, let me put this ointment on there.
I'm kind of I'm
'Cause
a
you-
little shy of it. Like I'm like, what do you oh.
You have like a big burn on your chest, right?
Yes, and across my face and
Yeah.
neck and arms, and I've got a metal exoskeleton at the moment.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that Rosalinda built out of silverware for you.
Mm-hmm. So
I think instead of completely erasing it, now I'm going to alter it a little bit because I forgot Son of the God of War. There is a scar there, but it's a really cool looking scar. Like it's absolutely aesthetically badass.
Okay.
Mhm.
Trey, let's let you define that. What would that look like for you?
I think that so the burns actually had like come up and across the side of Trey's face.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of having like a full blackened paper skin,
Mm-hmm.
there's just one line that goes like bisects
Mm-hmm.
sorry, across now.
Almost like would it maybe look like ripped paper a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Love that.
Exactly.
love it. Okay, all right, I like that. And going from 4 to 3 is a big step. So that means you are now like you would heal up the rest of the way on your own. And so I know it's only 1 point of healing, but it is. We should think of it as somewhat substantial. If you do get injured again, it will be like right away. It would be another bad injury, but like, in the fiction of the story, like a substantial wound has been closed. So, anything over 4 requires medical attention or magical. So,
Well, that should at least keep us alive to turn the pages.
and Lee, you've partially repaired yourself, but you're still at 4.
Yeah, I'm still hurting.
Okay. And what does that look like? What were your wounds? You were blasted, I think, by the.
Yeah, my arm melted.
Oh yeah.
My arm got melty. And I think that's the big thing. The second time was like a burn mark from one of the shields that I was using.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got like that. I think that I healed that burn scoring, so it looks like a cool scar now. But yeah, my arm is still not great.
Your arm's still looking a little candly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Although Stella had healed that part away too.
Right. Stella did help heal that.
Oh, okay.
And I just kept taking more damage.
Okay.
Um.
So yeah, you just have untyped damage of just damage.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was it arrows that we kind of manifested?
Oh, that's right. Yes, in the resistant there was yes, a sense of a volley of arrows that you were protecting everyone from, and I think your forearm had been pincushioned or something.
Yes.
So
yeah, I remember a Saint Sebastian-esque moment that we reference.
yeah.
So yeah, that was there's injuries and cuts and piercing marks, but nothing. It was all more mental than actual physical. So
Okay.
they're there, but not like bleeding.
Okay. So do you like reach out and put a hand on Trey's shoulder, or like what's the actual, like, what does this scene look like?
So Lee heals himself first and then goes with the salve to Trey, like almost again thinking in that heat of the moment, heat of battle, like just get it done, almost forgetting like maybe I should ask her permission first. And so like goes and like
You're like almost touching the shoulder,
and
like
look, I can take care of that if you want. Probably a good idea.
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you.
All right, good. And then slather. Just,
In Tree's mind, this has become like a whole thing. Like as you gently rub sulfate to the side of her face.
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna do a face touch. Oh, this is great. The camera loves this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how to feel about this either.
How's that feel?
A lot better.
All right,
Like
good.
just kind of, yeah, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, don't think anything of it. We can't both be almost dead
Now,
from a book.
Trey, also, you have the option of attempting a bend fate as well if you think that's something she's likely to do. But
After my help went so well last time,
well,
and I'm so good at this.
that means it'll go well this time.
because I'm so good at this. Definitely not the worst, and a total imposter in my own situation.
Yeah. And for the record, not at all how random numbers work. They don't owe you anything.
They owe me so much.
That'd be a fun game mechanic, though. The gambler's fallacy as a dice game engine.
Yeah.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So not going with that particular move then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
It's gonna only go poorly.
All right. So what happens after you do that, Lee? The book, like Disney flutters open, right? Like, like to the some middle section of the book, and rather than like blasting that yellow light out, it's this soft golden glow fills the room. And Lee, you also heal 1 harm.
Oh, lovely.
And you are both aware that the book is grateful for Lee helping Trey. And that is a clear, there's like a clear line between those actions.
Lovely. Good.
Great.
All right, let's see what this book can tell us about these ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start delving into the book, making notes on specifically how to stabilize the ley line where it is. So Leah is interested in the fact that A, the ley line moved, and B, if there's a way to stabilize it in its new position, then in theory, if you can figure out how to move the ley lines, you can then stabilize the ley lines in their new position, therefore repositioning ley lines to make them where you want them to be, to make your magic more powerful. I'm going to say ley lines one more time. Ley lines.
I think I am just going to be looking for how to put it back where it's supposed to go, where it has not always been, has been.
Where it will have always not been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it just brings to mind the classic Eric Clapton song. I'm gonna let you just fish around in your mind for that, because it'll be better when you get it. I mean, he's trash,
Never going to.
But the
Never
song
going
is
to.
apropos and an earworm. Okay, so as you approach the book, there are there's just writing and symbols and all kinds of arcane drawings, but I mean, it looks exactly like a Hollywood prop magic book, just whatever. I'm trying to think of, like, I wish we had somebody really like conversant with Hollywood prop like
Be real helpful, wouldn't it?
process, like what the book might look like, but oh well.
Well, first of all, do you actually want this answer?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, the outside of the book is a tan sheepskin. It's been aged. We already established that the front of the book had concentric circles in kind of like a reality mind-bending kind of way. When you flip open the book, you have a bunch of like junk spells in the front and the back, but it is rigged, that's special effects, to flip open to exactly the pages that you need to feature. So the question is, for the insert, are you featuring the page that tells you how to fix the ley line in position or to move it back? Or both?
Yeah, it has the one on the one side and the other option on the other page, and that you have to decide which one you're going to do.
Great. We have triples of those two pages in the book. It's kind of weird. It's like, no matter like if you flip one before or one behind, it's that same face page.
Yeah.
There are minute differences, but that's because those pages were aged by hand and written by hand in calligraphy with a dip pen.
Amazing. Okay. The joke, y'all, is that Pooja does in fact work professionally in props for Hollywood. So, thank you for that. While that's happening, back out at the street, just a little ways away, Rosalinda, Seeker having a conversation there. I think also this is the kind of thing where like the grass comes right down to the curb. There's no sidewalk right there. I don't know why that was important to me, but suddenly it is. As you're having this conversation, you both see this like golden light like shining out of the top of the mausoleum, like the part that was broken, because there aren't like windows in a mausoleum, but the part that's still being repaired, there's this like golden light squeezing out through the cracks. And also, Rosalinda, you're seeing like, oh, there are a couple cracks we didn't notice because there's like golden light seeping through some seams in the building. And yes, Nitrita, it is clearly golden in deference to our missing teammate today. But Seeker, Rosalinda, what are you doing?
Do we hear an angelic chorus because of the golden light, or
not angelic? Probably the stinger sound effect of the big reveal for the episode. Like a bit of a strong like strings break, like not breaking strings, but like a like hard string pull and then dramatic reveal. I feel like I'm not saying that right, like what's in my mind versus what's happening, but yeah.
No, yeah, I know the kind of cue trope in the violins. Yep.
Yeah, but it's not like the screech of like something horrible happening on the strings, like it's just yeah.
So we're talking about Tears of Our Enemies, and I'm about to hit the order button for mine.
Mm-hmm.
And distracted, just like, huh?
I thought you had this place. Is someone doing a shoot there?
No, that looks there. Something happened just like a little bit a while ago.
Seeker, you can smell something wanting attention. Something in there, like just desperate. The like sweatiest pick me of all time.
I think I need to go.
Me too. And you know how Scooby is when there are Scooby snacks? It's like that, but instead of being attracted to it, I'm going to it despite it basically being BO to me.
Yeah. Just like, oh, I have to go clean this.
I have to go. I am compelled to do this.
Oh, it's like when you open the trash and you're like, oh, that's stinky. I have to take this out. Like.
Yep. Again, we're not operating off a sense of smell here. I'm just copying you all.
Sure.
I think this is how you work with your little nose thing.
That's fair. Yes. So the two of you head back up there, and when you go into the mausoleum, it's just as Lee and Trey are starting to. I think the two of you are standing side by side looking at the book. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is just this golden light filling the room, and Seeker, now that you're close and you can see everyone here, you realize it's the book with this just like very strong pick me energy.
Were you not like the other books?
No, this one was made by Merlin. So
is this light not hurting you guys?
Oh,
not this time.
It's you.
So Lee, you're the only one who really knows Seeker at like a personal level. Trey, you've never met.
No, I just read/watched the adaptation from the library.
Right. Oh, geez. Yeah. Sam, could you describe Seeker, the character, for us?
Yeah, so they look like youth. They have some pretty heavy eyeliner. They have some pretty good color on their hair. I think it's probably like an oil slick kind of vibe. right now. A handful of piercings. They got them little fangs. They do. I think when you're not looking at their hands, you don't notice that they have claws. But if you focused on it for a moment, kind of perception filter-esque, you would become aware. Likewise, you don't note any kind of like armor on them, but if you focused, especially, I think I know Lee has sort of arcane stuff going on, or anyone with divine senses, you would see the plot armor. And they have their fidget spinner banhammer.
I think like so when you asked the question about the book, like I'm still focused on the spell and making sure we found the right one and trying to understand what the hell it says because
Yeah, you found both of the right ones.
Mm-hmm. And so when I answered, I wasn't actually looking. So then when Lee exclaims like, "Oh, it's you," I'm like, "What?" Turn around and it's like, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah.
Oh, she's cool now. She's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
No, it's cool. I saw you kind of in the library. It didn't really.
I don't
That
think I've
description
been in a
wasn't
library.
written well enough. I'm gonna have like words with Sensei about it.
Was there something wrong with how I was described? Seeker is not used to being Persivan in the first place. They are the one who seeks, not the This is I'm in a library. I was depicted.
Everyone was in the library. Apparently always depicted. Apparently we're always depicted.
Can I depict?
Rosalinda jumps in, just wraps just pats Seeker's back a little bit, like comfortingly. It's okay. You're kind of famous. It's all good. That's the whole point, isn't it? Right? It's okay.
What do I roll to no longer exist?
Oh, what a mood.
Oh gosh. Weird. I didn't write that into the game.
Should I mean, okay, you know what? We're play testing, it's fine. But seriously, their face is hot for some reason that I think they have very limited familiarity with. This is not their
like the
thing.
Focus of attention.
So yeah, tell me more about this book, Merlin. What was Merlin doing with it? Do you have a crush on Merlin? Is that your deal? I say to the book.
Oh, Seeker, you have triggered the pierce the veil move.
Cool. All right.
I'm not gonna offer
Pierce
any
the veil
questions. Like this is just something you have to do.
All right. Let's see. 4 + 5 + judgment.
Yeah.
10. Let's go.
All right. You get 3 questions. Your initial question of like, do you have a crush on Merlin? You're given this like recoiled like like, but not a sort of sensate answer. So you have 3 questions which you can either direct to me, the Herald, or the book in first person if you would like to.
I'm very glad the book doesn't have a crush on its dad.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time in mythology, but here we are.
Right. I mean, that's sort of the.
We don't have to continue that.
Nope. We can fix it. Do better.
What's the greatest danger with this thing?
The greatest danger for this book would be disappointing it, because it is capable of massive, terrible retribution if it were to be like hurt or embarrassed.
Oh no, we're gonna be the opposite of getting along. All right. And what does this thing want with me / us?
It it wants to be Trey's favorite. I think, yeah, I don't think it has a more sensible answer than that. Like, like I said before, sentient but not sapient. It has a sense of being and feelings, but not like true self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right. What is the purpose of this thing?
It is the primary purpose of the book is in like spatial magic mechanics, and particularly the pages that are open are for tangling or unentangling realities as needed. Both of which are like generally a bad idea.
So like that's the subject of the material. If I were to zoom out for like its raison d'etre, like why was this instantiated into the world, which is different than what its subject matter is? What's
because,
the capital P purpose?
Because Trey needed it.
So Seeger asks that question, tilts their head one way, tilts their head the other way, tilts their head the first way again. Then it's you. You're the thing. Are you two already? No, because you would not feel that way if she were not.
Oh, and for freezies, the book is jealous of Lee.
Oh, okay. So this is it's a whole thing. Oh, did you know about this, Rosalinda?
No, is the book cyber stalking Trey?
I mean, are arcanically stalking maybe? Like it doesn't feel healthy to me. And I know about unhealthy dynamics. But I mean, is it reciprocal? Do you feel a certain kind of way? Because it's feeling a certain kind of way. And I don't mean to out you, except actually, you know what? I do.
I mean, if our first meeting, it almost tried to murder me and, almost succeeded in murdering me, is feeling away. I feel away, but not in a good way.
Yeah, that's not how you're going to impress a reader. Jeez, my manual? What are you doing?
The
slaying
glow
is supposed to be metaphorical.
The glow in the room dims, and Seeker, you can feel the beginning of embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of should, but that's... Look, there are healthier ways that... So... Has he been causing problems for you?
No. Well, not at all. We didn't understand how to handle the book at first. We've understood how to handle it now. The book's fine. The book's great. The book is okay.
I mean, no. Just before Lee, you saw it. The book shot Trey up into the ceiling. It hurt her really bad. I had to save her. What are you talking about? You see the stuff I had to put on her? I used up all of your silverware. There's only so much that I could.
Okay, so
talking about.
For those in the room who aren't called Rosalinda, you can see the like palpable, like you can start to feel. I think all of us are somewhat conversant in the term secondhand embarrassment. And your characters, I don't know how your character would interface with that feeling, but like you can feel the book's like sinking into embarrassment. And I think Seeker, you had perceived that like if the book were to like truly it could retaliate in some way, which you could decide how you feel about that. But It's made by Merlin. So that is so the three of you can see this like shrinking, recoiling, like the light is dimming. Rosalinda's saying all true things, like true and fair things.
I mean, and I'm just gonna interject, and it's like, it's cool. We all fuck up sometimes. I tried to help Lee and got him more hurt because I'm a total fuck up. So, shit happens.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I think I need Trey to roll something. Trey, I need you to roll sway someone.
Oh no.
For big lies?
Yeah, well, were you telling the truth? Or did you mean it? I know it was true, but did you mean it?
Yeah, I mean it. We all fuck up sometimes.
Okay.
I'm a total fuck up.
Roll
means
sway
it's not
someone with fate's favor, because the book, like the idea that its hero could make a mistake is just mind-boggling.
I feel like the book needs to read a book on parasocial relationships.
Yep, it definitely does. You have correctly interpreted the situation.
Well, I got a 10 total, and I get a thread.
Oh, fantastic. Enjoy your thread, and on a 10, this NPC can accept your reasonable argument at no cost. And so, yes, this book has something of an awareness boost. And, you know, Seeker, you in particular can see, like, somebody starting to acknowledge their own toxic behavior. As I think it probably feels like a rainbow of, like, well, I don't know. How would that feel to Seeker?
There's like this clenching that they get like in their chest, sort of, the more they're around that kind of like the toxic vibe. It's what ultimately drives them to smash where necessary, just like wanting to make that feeling go away so much that they swing down the banhammer. But when there's acknowledgement, it's like that relaxes.
Yeah, like I was picturing
it's unclenching.
Seeker's hand on the handle of the banhammer, like getting ready to do something. Is that accurate?
I mean, yeah, everything about this is toxic. It's dangerous. It's actively harmful to everyone around it, including the target of its attack. Like, this is just everything I loathe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Seeker, you can see, like, again, it's a fairly simplistic mindset, but it's being turned, right? What it was born from is the like the groupthink, right, of like who and what Merlin was as a character and what kind of book that character would make, and that groupthink is being challenged by the magical awareness of demigods in the room, and so it is shifting. Like its nature is shifting. But Trey, you also can sense that the book is different. I'm not sure if Trey is. I don't know how perceptive. I mean, it is a book. But what do you want to know about the book's change?
Is it a change that is going to lead to active harm?
No, the opposite.
To all of us immediately.
No, it's
or down the line.
No, it's like coming to terms with the fact that it had like kind of an unhealthy obsession.
So yes, so I'm going to feel a great deal of relief.
Okay.
Because I already am like really uncomfortable with the Editrix situation. And then there was Don Quixote last time, and like it's a lot of perception. It is a lot of perception that I necessarily never wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I want to double back. Lee, you were going to do a thing.
I was,
What
and
was- What was your
So,
instinct to
my
do?
instinct was to try to cast a spell on the book so I could speak arcane to it
Oh.
to try to like build it up a little bit and like it's not so bad and like try to like gain it a little bit more self-confidence to help pull it out of its embarrassment cycle. But since that changed behavior has taken over, which is great and better, I am not going to do that.
Okay.
But I'm still going to do that at some point for another reason. So I am banking that idea for a future move.
Okay, sure. Rosalinda, what's your status in all of this? How are you feeling?
Rosalinda like shuts up when Trey starts talking, and she also sees Seeker's like reaction, and realizes that she kind of didn't read the room a little bit appropriately.
I was wondering whether Rosalinda had had awareness
oh.
of that a little bit.
Oh, and because of that, she said something awkward and gave a thread, and she's at 5.
Yeah,
So she
you did
also
say
then,
something awkward.
She leveled up and is now taking +1 to judgment as an advancement,
That makes perfect sense to me.
and makes it a nice round 0 for bonuses.
Okay. Okay. Pulled up
So
out of the
she-
basement.
Yep, she's appropriately not saying a word right now.
Yeah.
She's like, oh,
Okay.
okay, that's good.
Oh, I love this journey. This is fantastic. Okay. Also, as a quick check-in for everyone who has the, if you double check your gain a thread section, let's just see where we are with that. If there's anything recently or today that we need to retroactively apply, we're supposed to do each one per session, so I don't want to double up on any per session. But if you could think of something from last session that you didn't get credit for, let's review that. But
Yeah, I mean, I've got cast a spell pretty much every session.
yep.
I think I managed to accidentally diffuse a tense situation.
Yeah, you did.
Last session I hid something in a timely manner, namely myself.
Yes.
And many sessions prior. Nonetheless, I think I am passing judgment on someone, namely that book.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. So, the book is kind of it's like the amount to which the book is trying to affect or exert its opinion has receded, right? It is now like it's a book that exists and that you can interact with it, but it is no longer like pushing for anything or trying to make anything happen, and it's kind of just like kind of watching and waiting and like waiting to see what happens and what's next and how do I adjust my behavior and do better in the future, that sort of thing.
Aw.
From a movie prop perspective, the original book had, if you looked at the circles on the front in a specific way,
And we know people paused the show and did.
they actually looked like the silhouette of Trey.
Oh, yep. Of like
And-
the camera angle that we're getting right now of the like eye and the jaw and the
But as the change happens, those circles shift just a bit to be a little less creepy.
yeah, just a more sort of generic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it.
It's like, and if you can read the language, which as we go through the season, more and more arcane text will be revealed to show that it's an actual language, but it's been ordering lunch this whole time.
Yeah.
Yep. But the language actually like reads out, like, instead of theories on the movement of space and ley lines, it's a Fortree, and the Fortree is gone.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, I think we're left with the 2 pages that have the restore a ley line or stabilize a ley line is really like there's no like English text on there, but Lee, your interpretation of the symbols and the arrangement and like what the overall implication should be is you'll need to read the book in this direction to stabilize it, or read the book in reverse to restore where it was from the middle.
Okay. At this point, I would like to try to speak with the book in arcane terms.
Okay.
Mainly, I want to try to run my hypothesis by the book about being able to, if you can figure out how to move ley lines and then stabilize them, is that going to be catastrophically bad, or is that going to be a really ingenious way of improving my power source?
Okay, so I'm gonna just give you this for free because Lee is kind of looking for this answer, and we don't need to do a whole spellcasting roll for this.
Sure.
The book doesn't have and like can't have an opinion because that's a consequences question, which the book has only recently become aware of that as a concept, and it can't comment on what it thinks the consequences would be.
Okay, but can it at least show me the information that I'm looking for so I can draw my own conclusion?
Well, it can show you how to stabilize it or how to reverse it.
Okay,
but it or maybe I'm misunderstanding your question.
So basically, my question is, my Lee's eventual plan is, if we can learn how to stabilize this ley line where it is, that means if Lee can then learn how to move ley lines, he then knows how to stabilize them in these new positions, which is a way to create nexuses where he wants them to help improve magic in the world.
Yeah, that would be an incredibly powerful ability.
Yeah, so that is what he would like to learn how to do when he's trying to see if there's information in the book that will tell him that probably won't blow up in your face, or Danger Will Robinson, that's a stupid idea, what are you doing?
It's not automatic Danger Will Robinson.
Okay.
It is dangerous to, let's see. You know what? I'm going to have you just roll like a custom judgment roll for me.
Custom judgment. Okay. Can I use... I don't think I have anything for this. Never mind.
What is esoteric, etc. attached to?
That's a Pierce the Veil, which is a judgment roll.
Yeah, take your +1.
+1? Okay. That is a +1. Okay. All right, well, that's doubles. That is 2 4s plus the 2 is an 8.
Okay. So neither will blow up the world.
Okay.
Okay. And as far as you can tell, they seem about equally risky. This information is incorrect. But dear player, but the neither will blow up the world is 100% correct.
Okay.
But the people watching this show understand that one of these is more risky than the other, but the characters do not, or at least the character of Lee does not understand. Like these, like that looks risky, that looks risky. Okay, we just have to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Camera zooms in, like as you start to flip back, the camera just pauses for a split second on the most risky bit of the riskier one that you've got your thumb half over.
Yeah. Like you're like flip, and your like finger is over the like part that you really should have seen. Yeah.
I love that. All right. Looking over this book, I think our best bet is to just keep the ley line where it is and stabilize it. We don't know what caused it to move. I don't want to piss off whatever moved it, but if we can stabilize it, at least won't rip up the reality that we live in.
Seeker, will you do a custom judgment roll for me?
I've never gone through customs. Do I need a passport? Anything?
I don't think
Anything
you need a
I need to
passport.
declare except my genius?
Thank you. Thank you for the Oscar Wilde quote.
I will always, my
Mwah,
friend.
mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh yeah. All right. 9. We take these.
Okay. So Seeker, you know that the ley line moved like the moment that you arrived. Like that was something vaguely aware, like when you arrived and put Rosalinda in the banhammer, like you were aware of that happening, like like thunder rolling overhead. You're like, oh, but I don't think the like import of that, like it wasn't your problem to deal with. So, but now that it's been pointed out to you, you're like, oh, that moved when I got here. I didn't move it, but like those were coincidental.
It moved. I did not. Did it move? Like, did it move closer? Did it move farther? Was it a yeet or a yoink?
It moved closer to where you landed.
Okay. Interesting. Who's in charge of like ley line maintenance?
Well,
Points to Lee.
Are you asking that in character?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I've been studying them for years now. It's kind of become my thing.
Are you like apprenticed? Is there like a guild?
Yeah, it's more of an independent study situation.
So who did it before you?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's done it out here. That's part of the reason why I came out here, was to map out the ley lines in Los Angeles. A city this big had a lot of interlacing ley lines that needed to be mapped and magic that could be tapped.
So you came out here to study the LA lines?
Yes.
Seeker, please take a thread.
Yes. Yes, I did. Oh my God.
It took us 5 sessions to figure that one out.
I am embarrassed and disappointed in all of us, really.
We got there, and I understand what I am hired for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
At least we got it.
I'll be texting Clara immediately after the show.
Good. I'm just glad that we got it, in session, as opposed to like 6 months later when we realized we missed the parallel Parkers joke in Spider-Verse.
Yep.
You didn't.
Oh no.
Sin.
Yep.
I mean, now y'all need to have a whole second thing now, just because you didn't get the fun during the campaign.
I know.
But that's just me as a fan wanting things.
Second season.
I'm interested.
I'm ready.
It's just it moved when I put Rosalind in the bandhammer, and I don't think I was part of that. I mean, the bandhammer part, not the ley line part. But I don't move that. And if you just started mapping things a few years ago.
I saw it move. I saw the movement occur. It was in one place and then suddenly it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't see what caused it to move.
Yeah, Lee, I think this is the final piece of the puzzle that you had sort of inferred, and a lot of people were sort of like, well, did this happen? Like, what was the timing of this? Like, I think with Seeker's explanation and Lee's like, do you have divine intellect? I forget.
I do, yes.
Yeah. Oh, so just playing into that a little bit, is there's this like multiple mind palace moment of like, moving things around and seeing the perfect coincidence of like Seeker being sent and the impulse of that sending being sent by an actual deity is what like bent the world. And the ley line adjusting, probably to Lee's best guess, is like the least destructive adjustment the world could make when a deity had like personally interfered with what was happening.
Got it. Okay.
So that's why your ley lines are destabilized.
So as usual, we can blame Grandma.
But what I want to know is why would media risk that just to send Seeker to banhammer Rosalinda over Elote? Why
Hey,
risk
that
it?
was a serious thing at the time. I think we should take my job with a grave seriousness that it does not deserve.
Are you saying there's a kernel of truth to you being there to stop the Elote? Lee thinks
Let's
he's
not
funny.
get corny.
Let's keep this trucking.
Seeker deals with funny men all day. That's the job description, but I mean, that may have been an impact and not an intent. That could be. Sometimes media can be careless of the consequences.
And I thought my had problems. All right. I think our best bet is to stabilize the ley line where it is now and figure out how to keep it from, not to keep it from happening again. That's not what Lee wants. Stabilize the ley line where it is now, and then we can deal with the media issue next.
Honestly, seeing as Grandma's interference was wrong, I say from the safety of my spindle. We should put it back.
Just a little disappointed that I thought Grandma liked me.
I
Yeah.
don't know that Grandma likes anybody.
It's just that the job isn't really about liking. It's about whatever gets visibility.
Also, Seeker, like as you're thinking more critically about that moment, you sort of didn't exist or like temporarily non-existent until that moment, if that makes sense.
My narrative waveform hadn't really collapsed until then.
Right. Like you appeared with form and memory and history.
Yeah.
But in that
But I
moment,
didn't have my history until I was created, at which point my history was retconned in as backstory.
Yes, precisely.
And then those things all also have happened. But that's as part of the act of creation at the time, but then history. Yep.
Okay. So in that moment where you were created and you have this very clear memory of media basically, sending you like a spear, you have the memory of somebody else being there with her, but you can't like pull any better memory than that of just that she wasn't alone when she sent you.
It was a collab. Media wasn't alone.
What?
Do you know who? Who?
I was amorphous at the time. I wasn't really in any kind of shape for it.
Seeker, it seems like the floor is vibrating under your feet. Everyone else, you don't have any sensation of vibration.
I'm shooketh. Yeah, but that's the thing. If deities are moving this ley line around, all respect, Lee, stabilizing it might be will be temp at best, because it's gonna get yoinked the next time someone, like whoever that was.
Seeker, you've just been bumped from 5G to 4G.
Does something to act directly on the world.
Well, yeah, but that's going to be true of any ley line that the acts near. So if we learn how to stabilize them, it might be better to just clear a path than to keep moving them back, moving them back.
Yeah, get them to stop moving it.
Oh, I was about to
Rosalinda
do that.
touches her arm.
I was about to say, everyone,
There.
you're perceiving Seeker as this like hitch, and then a bunch of words come real fast that you can't like pull apart, and then a few more words into there. Yeah.
Rosalinda like touches Seeker's arm or shoulder. Like, hey, what's going on here? You're packeting.
Yeah, but you're actually cool. I'm sorry about the banhammer thing. You didn't deserve it. You're cool. Let's work together.
Yeah, let's totally do that. We can totally collab.
So Seeker, you're kind of at a crossroads here. You're either gonna get summoned, or you can put yourself like in a protective state, like to like whatever it is that's trying to yoink you. You've got an option.
Okay. So I am gonna go on hiatus in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
If I have enough bandwidth before that, I'ma just kneel down by the book.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still have a bit of my actual mission to perform with respect to this being, and just run my hand kind of stuttery along its spine and say, you're acting out because you're afraid you won't be enough as you. Everything you need to be is already written in you. If you want to be something to the people around you, be the most of yourself. Ley lines and portals and magic. You're enough.
And perhaps in an effort to protect yourself, do you think Seeker is capable of hiding within their own hammer?
It's not entirely unlike that, but I don't think it's a hammer. I think it's the plot armor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that kind of just like wraps in on itself.
Yeah. So it's into the plot armor, and then maybe plot into just, for storage size sake.
Yeah.
Then into the hammer. So the hammer will still be there.
Yeah, I think it's there's like this sort of Mjolnir-esque hammer that, as we pan around and like we go behind one of the characters, and then we get the other side, Seekers is gone, and there's just a perfect. There's a hammer sitting on the floor, and we're gonna go to break. But Sam, return to us so that you may make your goodbyes. Sam won't be able to stay with us past the break, but Sam, where can the good people find your works?
Role-playing performer and streamer throughout the Twitchernet. You can get my weekly schedule on my Twitch About page. That's twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEBELY, as well as my one-offs, which are listed on my Twitter at Tchaikovsky, CHAIKOVSKY. At 5 p.m. today, we will be premiering season 4 of Power Play, where I tragically experience the consequences of my actions. It's very rude, and please come and protest at Q times at 5 p.m. And also, if I can just do a quick plug for it, next week on Saturday is the premiere of a virtual play called She Kills Monsters. It is about Dungeons and Dragons because we know what I'm going to get cast in. That's just how this works. But ticket sales from that virtual play go to benefit Trans Lifeline and Mermaids UK, both fantastic trans charities.
Hell yeah.
And the information for all of that is on my pinned tweet, again, at Tchaikovsky. So please go check that out. It's been a delight to play with you all again.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. All right,
Thank
for everyone
you.
else, we will be back in just a few moments. I think we're probably going to take a full 10 this time because I need a full 10 and I run the show, so I can do whatever I want.
So there.
So everyone, feel free to stretch legs, grab a drink, do what you need to do, and we will be back in about 10 minutes. And Sam, thank you again for coming in and hopping in with us. And we'll see you next time. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. Hello, welcome back. My name's Jason, and it's probably okay, and this is my dog
It's
Janet.
probably Janet.
Hi, Janet.
Oh my gosh. Hey, you were so sleepy and tired a moment ago and said,
Nope.
I want to go on camera with you, and now you're wiggly and weird.
Nope, it's scary out there.
Oh, I miss the puppers.
And again, extending our million times infinity thanks to Sam for joining us, even for half an episode. That was very kind. And for anyone wondering, when we wrap at 5, we'll be rating. Okay, we're done. Thank you. We're gonna raid into Power Play to catch that show. So if you're wondering if we're gonna be out in time, we will be out in time directly to their stream. So that's the plan for about 87 minutes from now. So okay, so the Seeker has protected themselves by retreating into this form that is not their hammer, but is the shape of the hammer, and sort of just like clunks onto the concrete floor of the mausoleum next to the, I think you had set the book on a coffin or something. Sort of very respectful. But what all do you want to do?
I'm assuming we should take care of that in the meantime. You know what? Gonna stick it in the armory section.
Oh, did we all turn captioning back on?
Yeah, I just had my mic on mute, so I'm just dumb.
Oh, okay. Pooja, I think yours might have
I just
quit.
did. Sorry.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
great. Okay, so I'm sorry. Can you say that again? I was distracted by troubleshooting.
Oh, I was saying, pointing to the hammer, we should probably take care of that until they come out of it. It's really cool. I wonder if I can do that to my, and I like take out my pen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at the pen, look at me, look at the pen, put the pen back away, and move the hammer to like the arms section, which we absolutely have.
Yeah, I assume you have some basic weapons and things like that available here.
Okay.
So, yeah, the book is open, sort of glowing in a less intense way, but you have your kind of two paths available of which direction you want to read the book in, and it's time to make a decision.
Rosalinda just looks right at Lee.
Lee, I know. But I really think that we should put it back.
Look, we don't know how stable it'll be when it's put back. We know that it's more or less, it's a lot to move it.
It's a lot to keep it where it's not supposed to be.
That's why we stabilize it. As long as it's stable, it won't, go running rampant and hurting other ley lines.
We don't actually know that.
No,
Grandma,
the book.
If Grandma decides to come metal again, then nothing that we do is going to stop her or stop the effects of it.
Didn't
Right,
the Seeker
but-
say that it'll be moved again if it
Well-
happens again?
That would be if something were to happen in that same area. Based on what I'm observing, because this happened in the area where Seeker appeared, that's why this ley line was moved.
Which means that we need to be responsible. Rosalinda and I are, in a way, responsible for fixing what our family fucks up.
Ugh. I mean, it can't happen. It means it can't happen again.
Either way, it could happen again. But like, we don't know what the long-term consequences are of it staying where it is, except that what Sensei told me was that it needs to go back. It could adversely affect the mortals if we just willy-nilly move the ley lines around. Then we don't actually know what the repercussions of that are.
Well, I actually checked the book and it said it's about even.
Book
Because
said that?
Merlin's so reliable when it came to consequences. Did he know the definition of consequences? And I'm asking the book.
Yeah, I think you just get a sort of disembodied chuckle.
Mm-hmm.
The book is just now learning about consequences. So whoever made it did not have a clear sense of that, a clear grasp on that concept.
I'm just saying the rules of magic aren't that different from the rules of the world. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. The ley line is currently at rest. I think we should just stabilize it so it doesn't go into motion again. And then we'll know how to do it if media decides to crash another party. It's easier to keep something in place than to haul it back to where it was.
It's kind of in our jurisdiction to decide, being the media people, demigods, and Trey's theatrics. Lee. I think I side with Trey on this. I'm sorry, Lee.
Okay, then we try to move it back. But I'm telling you, it'd make a lot more sense to keep it where it is. And being able to stabilize ley lines is going to be a lot more useful than having to haul them back to where they were. Because this was just one street over. What happens if a ley line moves a continent away?
Hopefully that one won't be our problem.
Yeah.
But in the end, we have to figure out what it. Media didn't do this on her own. Somebody whispered in her ear.
And we don't know who this person is.
Yet. We need
And
to
we
figure
don't
it
know
out.
for what reason they wanted to move that ley line. And we don't know whose ire we're going to bring down on our heads by moving it back.
I mean, we don't know whose ire we're going to bring down on our heads for keeping it where it is. It could be anyone at that point. But if somebody is trying to manipulate media, it sounds like it's our duty to stand against that.
We know that having like you said, okay, Lee, You kept on talking about ley lines. I kind of remember something that you're saying that it's a nexus of power. It needs to stay where it is for a reason. That's what you keep telling me all this time, right?
Well, it needed to
Remember
stay
that.
where it was. It just needs to be stabilized. When a ley line moves, it's unstable. It's not grounded. If we can ground it in its new position, think of the possibilities. If ley lines can be moved and then grounded and maintain the form of the world, the possibilities are endless.
And the consequences are endless too. We're not our parents.
Thank God.
The idea of that power and the ripples that it would cause, the amount of hard enough time realizing that I'm supposed to be in charge of souls, Lee. I don't think we're supposed to be in charge of where magic pools in the world.
Trey and Rosalinda, both of you are aware as like perceptions slow down a little bit, and you hear the sound of like sandaled feet marching through just bare earth, like thousands and thousands. And everything kind of slows down for a moment, and you could tell that like Lee is experiencing some sort of like extra perception moment. And Lee, you have this clear, like this sort of mortal world is somewhat like you stay where you are, but your perception lifts up.
Sure.
And you know that you've kind of been brought to an in-between place, and your father is speaking to you directly.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you hear, "I've never been prouder. You have the ability to raise armies and send them where you want at your will. This is your moment, Lee. You must take this and control it. You will surpass me. I've never wanted anything more."
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about moving ley lines so we can solve the world's problems with magic, like I've been trying to get you to understand. I think I haven't.
War has been to solve someone's problem. And this would allow you to choose which ones get solved and how. Your armies would be supreme. Your judgment, your call would be final. You can make this happen. You just have to reach out and seize the opportunity.
Ooh, I don't like this. I don't know what army you're talking about. I would never raise armies. That's what all of this has been about. If we can reshape the magic in the world, we can solve the problems you keep trying to solve with bloodshed. No one else has to die. No one else has to go fight for something they don't believe in.
How will you do that if you don't have the power to stop wars? This power can be bent to whatever you want it to be. But you would be in charge.
Including ending war, the need for war.
Of course. I've been ready to retire for thousands of years. Make me irrelevant. And then the voice recedes and your perception drops back in. Trey and Rosalinda, you definitely know like something happened, but not to the, like, a deity did not, like, put their finger on the earth like what media did, but, like, something exceptional happened, right? Like, birds are suddenly flying north. Like, there is some fuckery on the mortal plane, but not, disastrously. Yeah.
Lee,
Was that your dad?
you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just parents,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Look, my dad's visit only proved my point. If we are able to do this, if we're able to manipulate the ley lines of the world, we can stop war from happening. We can solve the world's problems. This could be the first step in creating an actual utopia on this planet. Isn't that what we should be trying to do?
It the only way that we are going to be able to just wholesale stop war and stop conflict ourselves is by overriding the will of every person who exists on this planet and every god who they worship. Because you cannot tell me that Ares is the only one.
No, he's not.
And
the only...
even the power to stabilize where ley lines are won't give us that. Nor do I think we should have it. If you look at everything that's been written, look at even 1984, perpetual conflict in the end becomes the same as no conflict. They are taking control and choice away from the people who ultimately deserve it. We deserve to have that choice, and so does everyone else.
And Lee, you can hear the echo of in your mind of course they do if you're the one in power.
But if we're able to give them everything they need, there's no need for them to take up arms to take something from someone else or to defend something that someone else doesn't have, because they already have it. Magic is the answer.
There's no need, but there is the desire. Because
Rosalinda takes out her phone and scrolls through her Twitter feed and shoves all the examples of everyone arguing over nothing at him. This happens all the time. They're bored. It's gonna happen. They have no problems here. This argument is about a toothpick. This argument is about a convention. They don't need the conventions. The toothpick is nothing consequential, but they're still arguing over it. Monley, I am not that smart, but I know this might not, like, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Like, there was a flame war over a book not representing every aspect of a person's lived life. It not being able to be everything to everyone. This morning.
I got kind of banned over elote, over corn. It's not exactly essential. No one had issues. Like, it's gonna happen.
As the herald, I'm in a difficult spot because I have to make a decision, and my decision was between, I just want to be transparent here, between having Lee roll a sway someone against the two of you, or having Treyi essentially roll sway someone with Rosalinda's help. Now, the thing with sway someone between player characters is you're not forced to agree with anyone, right? But it does give a narrative hook, right? Something to work with there.
I would actually like to roll that sway someone
Okay.
as me kind of taking a little bit of responsibility as my place in the Pantheon.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense to me, Joey, if that makes sense to you too. Because the alternative is that Lee would roll, like, what do you think?
I mean, Lee is very, especially after that visit from Ares, he's rather emboldened by that. Like, this is proof positive that his idea will work.
Uh-huh. I guess my question is Lee arguing like sincerely from his heart, or is he arguing because of this other layer that is not entirely his own?
No, it's from his heart. This is Lee's modus main MO, his MO.
Yeah.
I'm got fucked up that Latin right now.
No, you got it. Modus operandi.
Yeah. Thank you. He believes that magic is the key to solving the world's problems. And his hypothesis is by creating the ley lines, moving them in a certain way, it'll amplify the magic in the world, which will then allow people to use magic to solve their problems, therefore eliminate the need for war and conflict. That's his end game. That's his end goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he started setting ley lines to begin with. So the fact that Ares is like, yeah, you're kind of right if you do this, even though he can't stand his father, at least gave him a bit of like, I think I'm on the right track.
Okay.
And reinforce that idea.
I think that has come through in what you've said in character so far. And I think the difference is that Treyi and Rosalinda have a sense that you've been influenced by something externally, which is why I think I want to go with their role. Which again isn't gonna make you do anything, but I'm curious to see how that resolves first.
Sure.
So Treyi, let's go ahead and have you roll, and then potentially we'll have Rosalinda roll provide aid. Depending on how that goes.
Okay, well, that is an 8 on the dice, plus 2 is a 10.
Oh, okay.
This dice gets to stay, and this dice goes into purgatory.
You think about what you did. So, for reference, on Sway Someone, when you want to convince someone that your way is the right way, so for a member of your weave who agrees, so Lee, if you come around and this makes sense, like you decide like your character comes around to this, you would gain a thread and +1 forward in restoring the ley line's position, which is the roll that you make to restore it would have an extra +1. So that is your choice. Or you can simply say, I don't agree, and we're not doing that. Or maybe not, we're not doing that, but you can characterize that how you like.
Yeah, I think because it's going up against his core belief, he's not going to agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to stall the game in this argument. Or not argument, but discourse.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think we're stalled. I at least am interested in this conversation. So
okay, good.
And we have time, but it's just like, what is?
Yeah, I don't think like Lee understands your point of view and understands your concerns, but he does not share those concerns.
I don't think Treyi mentioned sensing that external influence. Right?
Well, I did ask him if that it was his dad. because
Right.
of the marching of sandals.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's a reasonable guess, but I think there's a difference between asking that and then suggesting that your judgment is impaired based on that.
Yeah.
But also like saying something like that is like pretty rude. But maybe Rosalinda would say something like that. Like, you're gonna let your dad tell you what to do? I thought you didn't like him. Something like that. But I don't want to influence your play. Just trying to think of these characters as well as I can. Minerva, what do you think of this situation? What do you think Rosalinda would do?
Rosalinda would go, fuck this. This is media. This is a media issue. Trey, let's go. Let's go. You're at a tricksness, and take her hand, like starts marching out of the mausoleum. Takes the book too.
You think you can do this by yourselves?
We're demigods. This is our problem.
I don't want to.
But we gotta.
I don't believe in giving any one of us the power to reshape all of reality.
Come on, Trey. He's gonna have to go through both of us.
I don't want to fight about this.
I'm not gonna fight you.
Then help us do what we need to do in fixing up whatever is going on in media right now. Something's going on. This is a distraction. Let's fix that and then address them. Wow, I'm theorizing. So, Lee, I'm strategizing. Come on, let's do this.
I'm actually really impressed right now, Rosalinda.
Come on, let's go.
But you're thinking of the small picture. Think of the big picture here.
The big picture is the will of everyone on this planet. You don't know better. You don't know better than everyone else, no matter what your dad is telling you right now.
Oh.
And I am, at that point, I'm done fighting about it, and I'm gonna turn around and let Rosalinda
Like walk you
drag
out
me out with the book.
Okay. So, Lee.
Oof. I'm gonna message you about something, Jason,
Okay.
and you can decide how we want to do this thematically and cinematically.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
This is good stuff.
You can be such a smarty pants, but right now that's real. Oh. I don't know how to deal with this. What is this feeling, Trey?
I love this moment of like the two of you like storming out onto the grass and then like cutting to commercial, like from Lee's face of like, this is good. Oh god, this is why I like RPGs.
Mm-hmm. Also, let's put all my insecurities on display right now in this episode. Yes, please. Oh, wait, no, please, no.
Yeah, okay, Joey. That is an interesting suggestion.
Right?
Oh boy. Draped it on into the sunset.
I think. Yeah, I mean, in the spirit of that move, technically yes.
I know it's odd, and
but like I don't like even with that. Here it is. Lee knows that it like not having the book could be you'll make something happen, right? But not having the book to do what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
could be catastrophic. Like that's just now Lee's confidence may outweigh that, but just the necessary sort of mechanics of reality are so complicated that even for Lee's mind in that state would be that there would be risk.
Right. Okay. Ooh, this is. Okay. You know what? It's my first instinct. We're gonna go with it. So they're leaving. Is that kind of the feeling?
Yeah, the two of them are walking down to the cage that Rosalinda built, and they have the book and have left you in the mausoleum.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to cast a portal and attempt to get ahead of them.
Okay. Well,
And
a portal takes a minute to.
I know that's
fire
why it's a pain in my butt. My idea is basically to try to get the jump on them, and so I can take the book. That's kind of my current plan.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, if they walk down there, it's probably going to be more than a minute to like walk down there or open it, but like to decide what to do. I don't know if you two are just going to immediately start doing a spell together. Trey and Rosalinda, like what? Let's talk about that moment a little bit.
Well, we have the book.
Yes, exactly.
So you will have to physically take it from me.
Oh, I know.
But outside of that, I think we're both kind of like we both got a head full of steam right now.
Uh-huh. I guess I have I have the book open and just at that page or trying to find that page.
I'm gonna flip back to the stop. We can only insert the one page.
Now,
those are the only ones we made that made any sense.
So just a quick kind of above game pause, because I don't want to let all the steam out of the boiler, but also the spirit of the game is a cooperative, right? Like we don't really have like a player versus player thing built into the game. We can pursue the story. Like I like there's nothing really that's going to stop us. But what I want to check in is make sure that as players we're in a like comfortable headspace and that this feels all right. Sort of a mini like pre-X card check. How are we doing? Is this?
Yeah.
I like where it's going.
Same.
I like this drama.
Okay.
Very I'm like, oh, it's so much drama. I'm very tense right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, what's gonna happen?
Okay. All right, Joe, you said you're doing okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yep.
I'm totally good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to check that. I've been in uncomfortable table situations before. I don't want to have a repeat like that. So
this is narratively uncomfortable, but
yes,
player-wise, I'm very excited. We need to play it out so let's see what happens.
Excellent. Yes. A perfect
but yeah,
distinction.
I think it's gonna take us some few minutes, like reread the spell, make sure we have it right.
Yeah.
Like neither of us, if I'm remembering correctly, is particularly good at magic.
Yeah. Okay, so Lee, I think you have time to portal. That answers my question.
Okay.
And it's far enough that it's 50 yards away. Now normally you don't have to roll, right?
Right.
But this like as you're kind of preparing, you're like kind of getting the energy together, like, oh, I'm just gonna go down there. You feel the push, and you realize that Rosalinda's cage is like creating an interference, right? And so portaling within that cage is possible, but you'll have to roll. So either you could portal to just outside the cage, or if you want to go inside, we have to roll for it.
Let's do the roll about it.
Okay.
It's a weird roll. I'm not gonna say what I
there's
was gonna
literally
say.
no way you could fail the
No,
roll.
not at all. Nope, not with an 8 on the dice and too weird as a 10.
Yeah. Okay. Your portal is precise, and you can see through it to the other side, so you know exactly where you're going to wind up. You step through?
I'm actually, if I can see through the portal, I'm going to wait till I can see where the book is.
Yeah, I think your portal is positioned kind of facing back up the hill.
Okay.
And so you could see the two of them kind of looking at the book, and they kind of look, I mean, like, portals are noisy, obvious things that are happening, and so that you could see their reaction to it opening. But what is the immediate reaction?
Do you think he changed his mind?
Lee, did you change your mind?
Well, then I'm going to step through.
Okay. You take a step, Lee, and you find yourself at the top of stone steps, and you are looking out in just like noonday sun, which it was, afternoon to evening, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Noonday sun with, you automatically know, like you look out over these like 4 sections of soldiers, and you know there's 1,000 soldiers in front of you. You just know that, like, every fiber of your being knows that there are 1,000 like Spartan level trained soldiers. And when you step out onto there, you know you only have to take one more step to finish where you want to go. But you step out and you hear this clunk, and they like bang their spears against their shields 3 times in perfect unison, and then stand at attention. And you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you know you aren't allowed to turn around and look at him, but you know who it is. And he says, if you're going to go, you're going to win.
If I'm going to go, and I shrug his hand off my shoulder, I'm going on my own terms and walk through the portal.
Okay. When you push that away, there is like a moment of free fall. Like you like your gut drops, the confidence, it's just this like golden ichor of confidence drains out, like whatever confidence Lee is left with, but it had been bolstered by your father's influence. And so it's up to you to decide how much of that is left in Lee, but there's just a drain of his, like, he has gone from like, this is the best day, like this is my greatest son, to utter and complete disappointment. And so you'll have to decide how Lee feels about that.
Well, that's kind of been my zero. My zeroed out is being, I know I'm a disappointment, but I have disappointment on my own terms. And I'm doing this because I know better than my father. The god of war. There's an ego there, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, Lee knows better than a lot of people, apparently.
Lee thinks he does.
But I think his resolve is like reinforced. His confidence maybe is a little shooken, especially having had that bonus and had that bolster, and now it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a bit of that, again, that free fall, that lack of supports. But his resolve is like stronger. Like he's a bit more stubborn and is focused on what he's doing, and the motion of what he's doing is what's keeping him going forward.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you step out. You are actually inside the copper dome cage. I think the Trey and Rosalind, I think the two of you were kind of approaching the cage so far, or were you picturing yourselves already inside there?
I
Well,
guess
we saw it, so
I
I
thought
thought
we
we were in.
Yeah, because we were looking through the book. But
Oh yeah,
if we
okay,
need
that's
to be
fine too.
approaching, that's fine too.
No, I mean I was picturing it as this like chicken wire essentially that you can see through, but we can be inside as well. Like I just want to make sure we all the same mental image.
Let's be inside then.
Okay, and is this like a dome of wire around a particular section of the street? Is that what we're talking about?
Yep.
Okay, we're all on the same page. Okay, let's say it's probably like 15 washing machines in diameter. Sorry, it's a meme. Yeah, let's say it's
side
like
of cage. You can fit so many player conflicts in this thing.
yeah. Yeah. It's the width of a 2-lane street, all the way around. So let's go with that. Okay, so yeah, the three of you are facing each other. Trey and Rosalinda have the book. What's happening?
Yo, Lee. What's up?
Give me the book.
No.
No.
I know what I'm doing.
You don't know better than
And us.
everyone else here.
But I know better. I know magic better than both of you.
You don't know people better than we do.
Well, we're not manipulating people. We're manipulating ley lines.
Which will give you enough power. And total power, can corrupt totally. I've seen that on my timeline before. And there's this old movie with a man bat and a dude with two faces.
Man bad?
Yeah, something about you live long to be a hero to be.
Oh, I read that one.
Yeah.
You die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
And gods have.
I don't
lots
think
of
we're there
power.
yet.
Yeah.
We're real
Yeah.
not old.
Let's not get to that point. Let's not get to there. Let's not get to that point.
But honestly, this is about people. Because if you want to stop war and you want to stop conflict, you have to stop people.
We're people too. We're not at want for anything, really. Not that I, but we're still arguing over this, over power. I mean, I want to influence people, but not like, to take out all that choice. I want them to choose me.
I'm not
They can
taking
choose
away
you.
choice. I'm taking away need.
That's not going to get you what you want.
Well, it's going to get us a hell of a lot closer than we are now.
I don't think it will. I don't actually think taking something from someone or somewhere helps. Because in the end, it's still the same amount of magic. You're just moving it around.
And amplifying.
You don't actually know that.
We've seen it happen. There are nexus points of ley lines that amplify magic. If we can manipulate those nexus points.
You would remove them. You would remove the nexus points that are there to create new ones.
There's
So
one
you're
in the
taking
North
away
Pole.
the
No one
nexus-
is using that nexus point.
You
Go
don't,
use that one. Go ahead. I mean, still love you, but you could use that one. Let's just put this one back, because I don't want to split any atoms. I think we might split some atoms here. I don't think. I hope not.
Okay, as Harold, I am just gonna play narrator for a moment of Rosalinda cautioning about
Explosions?
yeah, collateral damage. Right? I feel now, again, of course, it's your character. I just am gonna point that out that felt significant to me, a viewer of this show. But carry on.
She's got her finger on the book on one of the lines. She's side reading while trying to talk to Lee.
Please just give me the book.
No. It's not yours. And the power isn't yours either. It doesn't belong to any of us. No matter what Merlin thought.
But it was given to us to make this right.
It was
You're giving her.
It was given to me to make this right. It was not given to you.
Don't make me dismantle this cage and then nullify all the work that we're doing right now. She clenches a fist and it bends some of the wire around. Help us. Or I'm gonna try and do it. Do you want me to do it? I can try. I will totally in on it. Lee, I need your help. Lee, you're so much better at this. But Trey and I know in our hearts that moving it and controlling it is a responsibility that none of us should have. That's too much power, dog.
But it's better than the other answer.
Clenches her
No,
fist.
it's not.
Again.
And I know how hard it is. I know how much you want to have that power. I know how much you want to fix it all. It's seductive. Knowing that you could reshape the world around you. Knowing that I should be able to reshape the world around me. Bend it to my will. But the world isn't about our wills. That's not the only thing here. There's more here than just what you think would be best for everyone. You are not your father. And I'm not my parent. And that's okay. And that's right.
And how do we fix it? How do we fix the world? How do we stop war?
One problem at a time. Let's fix this first. I know you can help us. I know you can do it. You know, if I try, she has book. Do you want me? I want to fix this. Let's move toward ending war after. Let's make those baby steps towards that. But right now, the immediate and present danger, like you know, is this ley line. Help us sleep. You're so much better at this than I am.
There is no one simple answer. A single solution, a one size fits all sounds great. It sounds like it would be so easy. But it's never going to be that easy. And taking from what's there to move it around, to amplify. Magic isn't a solution, it's a tool. And if they're not using the tool that they have right now, giving them more of it isn't going to make it better. We have to convince them to be better. And we can all do that together.
I want you to cast the spell to fix it. You know I can't do that. You know I can, but I can't do it as well as you. Come on, Lee.
Okay.
I like all your posts that you do post.
Okay, I'll help you. I don't think it's the right decision.
That's on me and Trey. But I know you can do it well when you do it. Gingerly hands the book to Lee. Smiles.
Lee will take the book.
Well, just checking. If Lee isn't telling the truth, that we have to do a roll about it.
Oh, I'm trusting.
I'm not trusting him. I will snatch that shit from you.
But Joey, you could just tell us, like, if Lee's
No, you might want to do a roll about it.
Okay. So. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think Trey, that's gonna be pierce the veil.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take my War Never Changes, and I'm rolling with prowess instead of judgment to pierce the veil.
Yeah. That seems fair. Wow, War Never Changes. That's very appropriate.
And that's perfect, because I got an 11. That's a 9 on the dice, plus 2.
Okay. So, we don't really have a, like, how to aim this at another demigod. But, yeah, I guess we just kind of have to do it as a custom thing. Lee, what's actually happening? Like,
so
Rosalinda's like about to hand you the book. You said, "Give me the book. I'm going to do the thing you want me to do."
So Lee was going to take the book from Rosalinda and cast the spell.
But the spell Lee wants to cast. Yeah,
the good spell.
Yeah.
The good spell.
The wrong spell.
Yeah. So Trey, you could tell. I think like before it's able to go off, or at least like, as Rosalinda's handing it, like you could just tell from his body language and his intention that he's like kind of reaching for that half of, because if you read this way, it's that spell. If you read the other way, it's the reverse. So,
and I'm going to take the book. As Rosalinda like goes to hand it over, I'm going to put my hands on it. And lying is beneath you.
Rosalinda has a heartbroken face.
Like, and it's beneath all of us. If we can't change your mind, then walk away, because we'll do it ourselves. But I will not let you think that you know better than everyone else here. It's not your place.
Lee is going to look Trey in the eye. Turn around and walk away. But as he gets to the edge of the cage, even though it's risky as fuck, he's going to use an ascendance move.
Okay. Attempting to anchor the ley line in place?
Exactly.
Okay. So normally there's no dice roll associated with an ascendance move.
Right.
But this is Joey and I were messaging about, this is what we were messaging about earlier. My feeling is that because this was such like a world-changing event and we needed the book to like try to do this, I'm gonna apply a difficulty to this. But you know, in the spirit of tradition, why don't you go ahead and read your ascendance move for everyone?
Oh, do we do that in this game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Weaver, the threads of fate come together for this one inscrutable purpose. Pull on this thread, snip that frayed end, and weave it all back to your desire. You craft a spell of epic proportions. Describe the outcome.
Okay. So, the thing is, I don't think I'm going to have you roll weird for this.
You monster.
Because your magical ability is not in question, particularly because it's an ascendance move.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the moments where Lee started to like realize that he respected Trey, and thinking about the conflict that they resolved, like in the apartment, you know, to get the book closed again and saving Trey, like seeing her almost get killed. I'm thinking about Lee even using Ben Fate, which is dangerous, to heal some of Trey's wounds. And that to me, to face her and go against everything that's happened today, it sounds like metal to me.
You monster.
Joey,
No, you're not wrong.
I'm
No,
open
you're
to
not.
a conversation about it, but
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
I'm gonna look and just confirm that you're completely not wrong. But I mean, you make good points.
I'm open to convert. I mean, we're sort of freestyling this because that's not exactly how ascendance moves are supposed to work. But
Right.
Your magical ability is not what's in question.
Right.
This is about conviction and affection and personal experience and relationships.
No, yeah, I mean, the only one I could possibly make an argument for would be judgment in confirming, triple checking his analysis that this is exactly like it's going to work the way he expects it to, and analyzing the ley lines as they are. That's the only thing I could argue for, but I can't argue any other ability.
Are you saying Lee is willing to take a moment of like further analysis in the situation? Like he's like triple checking to make sure it's okay to anchor the ley line here?
No, it's more triple checking to make sure that his past research supports this move. If that makes any sense. Because he's done all this research on ley lines. He's had this theory, and just making sure that this checks all those boxes in his hypothesis.
I feel like I think we've taken all those steps.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally good.
But I do want to say, like, I see a version of this of like But like if you're thinking about, okay, I've done the research. We knew there were a bunch of possible futures. Stella warned about some stuff. We didn't just go ahead and act like we went and got we got the book before we tried to figure out how to use the book, like all of those steps that were required. Like I could imagine your ascendance move being like an ultimate reveal. If you were thinking about, like, if that's on your mind, I can imagine the Arcane's Ascendance being like that full Doctor Strange moment of, every possibility that we weren't able to manage before because it wasn't someone's Ascendance move.
Right.
But if that's not what's in question, I don't want to like skew what you're saying. But when I hear you say that, that makes me think Lee is double checking his thoughts on this.
You know what? I think there would be a double check, and I'm okay with that, if for no other reason that Trey's argument was valid. It was sound. He understood her concerns. He did not share them.
Sure.
But it's enough to put a little, like, I'm going to make sure, because I'm about to possibly jeopardize everything. We're going to double check that math one last time.
Maybe even in the spirit of, look, I will show you that it will be okay. And like, like opening that window into like something like that. Is that like a...
Yeah, I can take that. I can absolutely take that.
Okay.
Because there's one thing Lee likes more than anything else in the world, and it's being right.
Being right.
And that is showing people that he is right.
Yes. Okay. So now I have to decide.
And especially being on top of the ley line, I think that's going to help him show, like, be able to project the ley lines. And yeah.
No, I agree. I don't think, like, I think if that's the goal of the Ascendance move, I don't think we have to roll anything.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Because yeah, I liked where it was going, but I was like, I don't want to turn into the villain.
Well, I don't want to like meta our way around, your
not at
valid
all.
character choices either. Like that's
no, absolutely. It was one of those things like, I like where this choice is going, but I see it heading in one direction.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you head in one direction too long, you could end up a Backstreet Boy.
As long as I'm in sync, that's all that matters.
Okay, yeah, that's
on
fair.
the way to O-Town.
Yeah. Okay. So, your magic, ravels in front of you, and you explore this future, the future of anchoring it in place. And you see the future of giving magic to people, trying to give people the things they need, to take away the problem of scarcity, by just giving people everything that they need. But the ultimate, like the vision starts to like static out the further you go, and you get this. I mean, you're all three of you are experiencing this in like full VR 3D, with the like motes of energy flying at your face that make you like flinch out of the way. But the like giving magic and that level of understanding to every mortal starts to unravel their belief, and that unravels the pantheons of gods, and that unleashes a war between pantheons. because they're desperate to keep existing. But then when we go far enough forward, humans, mortals, are mortal, but as their belief turns into knowledge, pantheons start to crumble and fall apart, the gods start to go away, and so does magic in the world. And we wind up with something like a post-magic apocalypse. Because the gods are gone, and now the magic's gone. In this, breaking the cycle that mortals had created for themselves.
So,
but I also think it's just safe to say that none of you in character totally understood the connection between like belief and knowledge, right? Or like two sides of that coin, where this is like in the setting for the book, but like the idea is that mortals believe in the gods, but they don't know for a fact that they exist, and so this is the sort of dichotomy that is being revealed to them. And I think the three of you are kind of just left floating in this like staticky, empty sky, above a world that is, in chaos. The people that are left.
What the heck? She's just.
Forgot
I
your
feel
stream was
sick.
PG.
so
I feel sick.
this was all just my dad working his working his will through me. Cool. Letting me think that magic could solve the world's problems. How fucking idiotic am I? Of course, it would lead to war. It always leads back to war.
It's not idiotic
Oh,
to have
gestures
hope.
at everything.
It's not idiotic to have hope. But don't let your hope turn you away from reality.
It would have been so simple. And
It's never simple. Rosalina grabs for Lee's hand, partially to try and stabilize herself, and also just to hold his hand.
he let me think I was rebelling against him, that I was doing something to stop him, and it was just playing right into his hand.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out for Lee. Like, you saw through it. He didn't win. This, and I gesture around to like the whole like scape of the astral plane that we're on right now, or that we're seeing. This was your power to see the truth. It came from you. It came from your desire, from your belief. And that was stronger than his manipulation.
Let's fix the light line.
You can hand over the book.
I really don't feel good.
And
yeah,
the vision dissolves, and you all have this like nauseating, like, you know, being thrown backward and just dry, you know, your stomach and your throat as you find yourselves. It's not like you're dropped onto the sidewalk. You never stop standing there in the street, but there's that sense of motion, and you are back in the moment.
Rosalinda just kind of collapses to her knees and just all fours on the ground, feeling like, oh my God, Earth. So what do we do now? Boy.
we
I would
put
like
this
to-
ley line back.
Okay.
If you're okay with it, is like reach out and like touch your face the same way you touched my face when you were putting the salve on earlier.
I think Lee takes a second to realize that that's happened. He's kind of deep in his feelings, and then like realizes that you've touched his face and looks at you and nods and thank you. You stopped me from doing something diabolical.
I didn't do anything. You did it for yourself.
And at that point, he'll go ahead and flip the book open to get it where it needs to be and to put the ley line back.
Okay.
At this point, both sides of the page are the same spell, and it's to move the ley line back to where it should be.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. Okay.
Sorry, as I just completely narrate this prop now. It is mine. It's mine forever.
You're our prop mistress, so that's great.
Proper
Propatrix? Whatever you prefer. The so the spell, we weren't gonna have to roll for it when it was gonna be executed through an ascendance move,
Right.
but assuming you don't want to just follow up with another ascendance move.
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah. Before we do, however,
Yeah, I know I need to pick a thing.
yeah, we need to check off one of your uses and choose a permanent consequence. This goes on your permanent record.
I think because I'm trying to just go completely against type apparently. I think I want to take Face's favor to sway mortals.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Sure.
Kind of looking at that. I'm looking at possibly all spellcasting draws and wanted detention.
Spicy.
I mean, it's
All
not
right.
like you use spellcasting very often. So.
No, not at all. I'm gonna roll on it. Let me see.
Okay.
Evens will be Fate's favor. Odds will be spellcasting. All right, that's a 4. So Fate's favor or Fate's disfavor on sway.
Okay. That fits really well with an idea I just had
Uh-oh.
that I wasn't decided on, and that just decided it for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We'll get into that next time.
Oh boy.
But Lee, let's go ahead and roll weird. Let's get weird.
All right. Oh, that rolled off. There we go. That is an 8 on the dice plus 2 weird is a 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, we love that. That is
Oh, Jesus.
that is great. Just for fun,
Yeah.
I think we know what the 10 plus 2 effects is. This is not really a spellcasting roll, right? You're like the custom roll through the book. But I was gonna have you pick a cost from the spellcasting list, but those are all small potatoes, so I'm not worried about that. Instead, because you got the 10 plus, I am gonna have you roll to take grievous harm, but with Fate's favor.
Okay.
Okay, so like take the lowest two in this case because you want the lowest two.
Right. Let me get another die out. Okay.
And just get a 6 minus, and that's fine. But you did just bend the world, so
A little bit. Okay. Oh, thank God. That is 2 2s, which is
Okay.
doubles.
Okay. Oh yeah, and you get the doubles thread. Absolutely.
Which is a 5th thread.
Okay.
Wow.
Excellent. So note that, and also normally you would have to pick the advance right away. I was also just going to give everyone a thread at the end of this was incredible. So everyone please take a thread. Joey, this for now, go ahead and just mark the 6th thread, which is not normally a thing, but we're
Okay.
We have to wrap up.
Well, I was
here.
already thinking I was going to up my weird to 3.
Oh, okay.
So I'll
Easy
just do
peasy.
that and put a thread in.
Yeah, I think that's that's the one stat you can take to 3 before you have 5 advances. Yeah. Yep.
All the spellcasting happening and all the spellcasting that happened in this game, it made sense to take weird to 3 on that advance.
Yeah. Okay. So you and nothing worse happens. Yeah, you push through that, and I think in the process, you all feel the ley line move, right? It's just oh, this is not a universal experience. There's a tendon in my elbow that pops back into place sometimes.
Ooh.
But that's not a thing everybody experiences, so that's not a helpful analogy. But when you've been waiting all day for your back to crack, or you're trying to get your shoulder back in exactly the right spot, and then finally something in your body clicks into place. It's that visceral, right? Something just at the core of your being snaps into place, and now the ley line is back to having never been out of place, and it was always never gone, which is why it's such a big deal to move these around. And any parting words before we roll credits?
I have an idea for something. I'm going to Slack it to you real quick, or message you real quick. Everybody else go. I'll go last.
Pooja, looked like you had something to say.
No, I was gonna say Rosalinda should definitely go first.
Oh,
Rosalinda.
Rosalinda, what's your... Because you're all still standing on the street where the ley line never was always not.
It just made my brain hurt so bad. So the ley line is back at the elote truck? Or no, away from the elote truck.
Yeah, it's
street over.
a couple streets away from your spindle.
All right. Rosalinda cracks her, does the neck crack things. That feels so much better. Holy cow. I'm really hungry. Let's go get some elote.
Amazing. Okay.
All right. I just sent it in Zoom.
Okay. Wait, to me?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, that's fine.
Oh, it's cool? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's a good call.
Okay.
Do you want to go then? Because I am a little...
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think, Pooja, we should probably do yours first. Or unless you mean you need more time.
I need more time, but I'll figure something out real quick. I think I'm gonna just look you in the eye and thank you.
Please, go ahead.
and then do the like I like grab onto Rosalinda and I grab onto you and I do the Rosalinda hug thing.
Lee's going to return the hug. Then he's gonna just politely just disengage. Turn around. Open up a portal. And walk through it. And as the portal closes, you see some iconic things like the Great Mall, the Washington Monument, things like that. And then the portal closes behind him.
Yeah, I think your fellow demigods know like the basics about your family, right? Like this stuff has probably come up.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So we know Lee's dads live in DC, and that's and we also know as a weave, if you're ever trying to like really get away from your weave, it never works, right? So whatever this is, like Lee is just like taking a breath, and so we don't have to panic. Also, Joey's out of town next week, so we're making a meta solution to a
Yes.
But I think that's where we roll credits. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, chat, for being here for this. This was a very intense, like, just moment, and thank you to the players for making this just so authentic and cool and neat. And I mean, geez, you'd think that was rehearsed. Like, that was all of that was just amazing. So thank you for making this so awesome. Oh, I got chills.
They multiply though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't handle the tension anymore.
Okay.
It's all
It
good.
feels so good. Oh God.
It's all good.
Is this what acting feels like? Because this, I'm not new. I don't know this feeling. I don't
Yeah,
understand this feeling.
a lot of times.
Wow.
It's why I love it.
Oh, woo.
Like, oh, my heart is breaking.
Yeah.
I'm getting reformed and breaking again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That was really
Joey,
good.
I love you.
You too.
Not more than Adam, but like, you know, he'll cut me.
Yeah. All right. So let's Joey, since you're not going to be here next week, why don't you go first? Let the people know where they can find you on the interwebs.
Sure. Yeah, you can find me all over the interwebs at Feywild85, FEYWILDE85. You can catch me every Monday except this upcoming Monday over at Happy Jack's RPG Podcast, playing in The Drop, the other game Jason's playing in where he's trying to kill me.
And also, you may want to respond to Dorklord Canada's violence just now before you finish.
Okay, listen, DLC. I thought we were cool. And you decided you chose violence today. All right.
For those watching this later, Dorklord Canada has suggested scripted, like we'd get Joey to learn lines, which is just a classic joke for us.
It's hurtful.
We love it.
It's hurtful. But I will accept it. But yeah, you can catch me there. You can catch me here. And maybe some more stuff coming up soon. But it's hard to tell because caroling season's around the corner. So I disappear into Dickensian bullshit for 2 months. So
it's true. Like, we literally don't see him for weeks at a time.
It's real cute. Anyway, someone else talk now.
Yeah. Minerva.
Hey guys, I am Minerva Fox. You can find me on the social medias as blue_troller. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays doing the artsy stuff, and you can watch me draw live. Every last Saturday of the month is a drink and draw, and you can watch me draw live and get drunk more so on it and less coherent as the night goes on.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that's the best part. And oh my gosh, I'm still reeling from the feelings of this, and as like my think my third or fourth game ever. This is amazing. So yay! No
one would realize that if you didn't say that. That's I still forget that this is like your first real campaign.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
These things. But
growing up fast.
That's amazing.
So next thing I'm gonna do, right now, up on my website, artbyminervafox.com, just gonna plug this out there. Pre-orders for my Marvel's What If poster
it's really good.
is live.
So good.
And it's got it's on either holographic or satin finish. And I hope you guys like it.
Hold on, I'm busy.
The holographic looks really good, guys. Check it out on my Twitter because it's so shiny.
Wait, what is it? Minerva dash
Artbyminervafox.com.
Oh, art by, yeah.
Yeah. Words. There
we go. I'm just gonna drop that into chat. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Great.
So cool. Artist.
Awesome.
No conventions this year. Please support.
Pooja, what are you up to?
Oh. I'm still stunned. Also, Joey decided to do violence to me
Yep.
for no reason.
Touching all the props that aren't yours.
Yep.
How dare you? Oh, cut a bitch. So you can find me on Twitter at LADesi Girl. That's LADESI Girl. And pretty much everywhere else is Forgotten Saves. I also do RPGs on 12-Sided Stories, which is a actual play podcast. You can hear me do my baby GM business this Halloween. We did an actual play of Brindlewood Bay, which is a group of old ladies solve a murder. Or do they?
I love it. 12-Sided Stories is such a great group. Like, the Bluebeard's Bride was genuinely I got partway into the first episode. I'm like, well, I'm not going to listen to this one. Sorry, B and everyone. I was like, skip.
Bluebeard's Bride was real intense.
Yeah.
Brindlewood Bay is the palate cleanser you need after that.
Right. But I also mean that as a compliment. I'm just like a horror story wimp. And so for people who like that, they're going to really enjoy that content. So, or I guess horror story that I'm not GMing.
Yes.
Was too much.
You don't have the control, Jason.
Indeed.
All control all the time. You can also hear me coming up, speaking of Bluebeard's Bride, on Utopia, playing Bluebeard's Bride.
Awesome.
But in a South Asian setting. So we got a little different flavor there. And I am on the Hapjacks backlist. If you haven't gotten enough Traveler with Jason's game. And
it's not
With
much
apologies
Traveler.
to
I played Traveler with Stu and Kimmy and Stork and Joey. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also, just to address the fact that Minerva's captions just said with apologies to Chick-fil-A. No, we don't apologize to Chick-fil-A.
No.
Never. They
With
deserve
apologies to Traveler.
So, Chick-fil-A can go to hell, and we should cut out and go to Q times.
Yes.
My name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. You can find me here Fridays and Sundays doing all this kind of nonsense. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay to find out what I'm up to. And on Monday nights, I'm on Happy Jacks RPG. You can go to happyjacks.org/the drop to learn more about what I'm doing there, or my Twitter. Take care, everyone. I'm going to push this raid button. Say hi to Q times for us, and we will see you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.